everybody, and welcome back to the iGaming Indie Games channel. My name is VI20 and thank you for coming to join us today, and thank you very much to all of our beautiful subscribers on this channel. If you're not already done so, please do subscribe and turn on the notification bell down below so you can then be notified when we upload a brand new video onto the channel. And also, if you are a big fan of Minecraft, please do go over to our Minecraft channel here on YouTube. The link will be down below, including our live streaming channel on Twitch as well. So in the last episode we did start working on our beautiful airports on Airport CEO. So we've got a regular income coming here, and we've actually started sorting out all the research as well. Okay, so we've just started the Jet A1 fuel, so we can actually start increasing the necessary income for our airport. So what we are going to be doing today, we will be popping straight into sorting out our fuel as quickly as possible now, because we do want to get this in as soon as, to be honest with you, because like if we don't, we are going to struggle to get the necessary money in, and we do also need to get a contract as well. So yeah, again, we go into economy, we go over to our contracts areas here, but unfortunately we haven't got nothing in as yet because it's not built. So as soon as that is built, we should be okay. So right now we are making around about £1,000 to £2,000 an hour roughly, maybe just a little bit more depending on what's actually happening. So I am actually going to just be sorting out all these bits here before we start going down on the commercial licensing, because we do want to try and make sure that we are getting all the major parts in first before that, so we can actually start increasing the necessary money. Now, to check your finances anyway, just pop back into your economy area, and right here you can actually see precisely what we kind of like be making. And this is like for the previous hour, then of course the previous 24 hours as well. So this is actually quite a really good way of doing this, and then of course daily as well. Okay, so the previous day we did actually spend almost 800,000, but that's okay, that's okay. So we eventually will be starting to write down quite a bit anyway, to get back up to our 3 million, what we originally started with for that. So we should be fine. So we are averaging quite a bit anyway, which is perfectly okay. So as the research is going along in the operations, in the research and development section, we can actually start planning out what we were wanting to do. Now, just to make sure that we've got this sorted, we are going to pop into our contracts, and we are going to go with our fuel. So I'm actually going to go with heavy fuel because they're actually quite cheap anyway. And so that's actually the major stuff. So now that will get filled up there. Now what I like to do here is actually set the refill at about 50%. So as time goes along and we're starting to get more planes in, okay, and more fueling to be done, we're just wanting to make sure that we've got enough fuel actually within our fuel tanks to make sure that we are pretty much safe with that. So to move those fuels, we actually need to buy some fuel tankers. So for your fuel tankers, what we've got here is the avgas for everything here, and we're actually going to go up to 4. So we're going to order that through now, and that's going to take about 40 minutes in game, which is only like a few seconds anyway, especially if you're putting it onto a fast forward. So as we are doing that, we're going to wait for that to come in. We're going to get those filled up, And now what we can do for this, we can actually now go into here, operations, and we can now select avgas and 100 LL fuel service enabled. So this here will actually come on beautifully, so we can actually start earning a little bit of money, especially when it comes to fuel. So they are now filling up the planes, which is really amazing. I quite like that. So let's just keep checking on our little bits here. So we're going to go with program group 1. So what the program group 1 is these bits here. So we can actually do some extra bits if needed. So we're just going to make sure that we've got enough going on, because I want to try and open up the other 3 as well to make sure that we're okay with that. Now, for each time to fill up the fuel system, we have actually spent like 40,000 each time, but that's okay, because as time goes along, that will start balancing itself out, and we are going to start making money back literally all the time. So that is perfectly fine. So it should take around about 2-3 hours anyway for that to be done. So literally, as we are moving forward, it should be nice and easy to actually make that kind of money. So what we are actually going to do here very quickly now is that we're now needing to plan out our next lot of the airport. So we're just going to pause it. So our next lot of airport, which we're actually going to be doing, is actually a full terminal. So we're needing to get our asphalt bit here. Okay, and we're going to place it round. And we're actually going to place it as close as we can to the engineer, because what we're wanting to do is to make sure that we've actually got enough space for our planes to actually come in, land, get themselves sorted, then pack out again. So let's just whip this round. Let's place this here. We're then needing a taxiway. Yeah, again, I like to go 5 because that's the best sizing for this. And then we're then going to place some parking spots as well. Now, the one with a zebra crossing is actually for the passengers to go into. So I just placed that into one place there, so that's okay. Let's get that sorted. So you always need to make sure that you've actually got these placed in the correct area. Now, I am actually going to be building quite a bit here, so this is probably going to cost about another 800,000 to get this done, but that's totally fine. We can manage that. And this is actually quite a perfect height, you see. So I could have actually put a straight one out and then got like another 2 in, but I don't really like doing that because even though that, yes, it gives you more of the base for your stands for your airport, it means then you've got to ensure that you've got everything pretty much leveled, where you can actually take those extra passengers. This here is going to be quite a small airport to start off with. Now, we do need to make sure that we've got this big massive terminal section here built in here first, then we would like a longer terminal section here. Now, we do need to make sure that we've got this actually fenced in, so we do need to now sort out a fence. Now, I like to do this at every single stage, just to make sure that we're actually 100% covered for the fencing. Now, I'm not going to put fencing up into this section here just yet until we've actually built our large terminal. Now, I do actually need to take out this bit of fencing here before building this big terminal here. So that is what we're going to do. So this here is really about planning everything out as much as possible and making sure that we've got everything all secured in for this. So we are going to get everything in. We still got our workers in, right? And we've actually spent about £1 million or about just under £1 million in game to actually get this built. So we are going to get this sorted out. There will be a few little delays, but that's okay because we can deal with that. Now, what I do also need to do as well is actually to move this bit up here to get some extra bits in. Now, what these extra bits are is actually for our aircraft to actually go into. So it's like a aircraft hangar. Now, we don't actually have a hangar just yet because we're needing to do the commercial side of things first for that. So we will have animals walking around. It will cause delays, but that's okay. That's okay for now, because we can manage that. We have got plenty of money to do this with. Now, what we do need to do here is to ensure that we have got a large enough section here. Now, this here needs to come up, then come back around itself. So it's kind of like going into like in two U shapes on each side of this here. So we're needing to make sure that we've got a large enough section here actually for this terminal. So this is what we're going to do. So we're going to start it about here. And when we start it here, we are actually going to come down. Now, we're needing to make sure that we've got some car parts as well into this here, because the car parts are going to be massively important for this. Now, we could actually put the car parts in straight away if we wanted to. So let's actually just have a look here at this section here. So if we're going to do this, we need to make sure that we have got enough parking spaces for the entire work to go ahead, to make sure that we've got enough places for everybody to come in, get dropped off, then back out again. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to build 3 car parks like so, and we're then actually going to place a road in. So this road is going to come straight round to here and straight round to here. Okay, then up here we're then going to place another road up, and we then need to make sure that we've got our walkways. So our walkways, we're actually going to go full width over. Okay, just to make sure that this is actually in properly, and we're then going to move the road a little bit further up. Now, this might seem quite bizarre actually doing it like this, but there is actually reasons for this, because we're wanting to try and level out the spaces what we're needing to level out, just for this reason. So this is just all about actually planning for the eventuality of expanding the airport. And of course, this is what we're wanting to do. Now, if we actually place on each one of these here 2 crossing sections here, that is perfectly fine. And then what we can then do is then place in some taxi ranks. So for taxi ranks, will come in on this side here. Okay, we're going to place 4, and we're then going to then place some car ports as well. Okay, so we could have actually done another one there if we wanted to, which we'll probably do anyway, because that's just what we like, because we can do that. And of course, this is then will then allow us to really massively plan out now the final terminal. Okay, and this is what this is all really mostly about, is planning everything to a point where when you do have a load of guests in, especially with the passengers, when it starts growing, you need to have this eventuality leveled. And this is what we're kind of like doing with this. Now, we could actually go with street lights, which we will probably do anyway. But I don't like these single ones. I quite like these double ones for this. Now, these here don't really sit majorly central, which is quite annoying, to be honest with you. Because these aren't really massively large as such. So we can actually just place these in, especially along the car park areas first. And then we can then start looking at the, let's just get rid of that there. Oh no, 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 no. Oh no. Right, okay. I just well and truly laughed that up. Right. Let's get this sorted. So yeah, so we are actually going to just come in here. We are going to place in our little bits in like this here. Okay, and then here we are then going to go with these big ones. So these big ones here, the only thing is I found about these is that sometimes they're too pinicky, if that's a word, especially about the positioning of things and making sure that it looks really good. And this is the only reason why that I'm actually using these, because they do light up actually quite a bit, actually for the night time, because it is just one of those things. We do need to have a lot of light. We've got a footpath there, so that's fine. We've got all this section here done. We can actually place some extra bits here, just to really highlight this road, because we could actually put them into here and that if we wanted to, but I don't really want to do that, not on this airport. So we are just going to do it like this, for this reason. So as we like going along, we just need to place these in, make it look pretty, make sure that there's plenty of lights, literally lighting everything all up, and that is the whole point of that. Now we've got that in place, right, we now need to think about placing our major terminal in to get this ready. So what we do need to now do is that we're now going to get a terminal, and we're actually going to start it from here, because this is actually going to go level with the entire basis of the section down below. And this here will then actually come all the way up to here, then eventually go up a bit further for that. And then of course this section here is actually going to come up as well. So I've actually got inefficient funds there. Oh no. Oh no, that's really bad. Okay, so we can't really do that just yet. That's fine. That's fine. So don't forget that this will take a bit of time to get done, because this is such a large build. We don't want to rush the entire thing. So this is why we're kind of doing it like this, and we're just going to be placing 3 doors in. on there, just to make that look a bit more nicer. So let's get this fast forward anyway. Let's try and get some more money in place. We don't want to open up this just yet, so we do need to keep this closed, but we do need to sort out our connections. So all of our connections are going to come into place now. Okay, and this here will actually be part of the overall commercial side of things, which we are needing to research eventually. Now, we do want just to make sure that we've got everything all above board and everything else, making sure that we've got everything in what we need. And this is why in that we're not going to rush through every single bit of these here. So we're going to now open up project group 2, and we're actually going to get all of our main people in, because we've actually got 6 workers, 6 administrators in. Okay, and that will then carry on doing that there. Now, this here it would take a bit of time to build. So what the initial thought is to separate this into 2. So up on this top part here is going to be our next section to go into our international travel. So our international travel will come round into these sections here, which is our medium and large aircraft. With then like a little section here to come round onto another section down here with another runway and some extra parking areas down here for the aircraft. Then up at the top, international to go into the other sections around. So that's what the initial plan is for that. So we are actually going to get that done. Now that this is all going along and we're starting to make our money still, which is perfectly fine, we do need to make sure that we've got our money. I could actually do this here. Now, the only problem is what we've got. We haven't actually got an underground section just yet because we haven't done the research for it. So the research, what we're needing to do is actually going to be in this section here, in one of these group sections, to allow us to go into the structures to go down one, but also to then come up a extra floor. Now our extra floors are going to be perfect for the international travel, especially up on this top section here where they're going to have the larger aircraft. So you've got your main level and your first level up for the walkways. So that is what we're going to be using for that. So that is actually going to go over 2 floors. And then everything else will then be pretty much like on one main level. So we've got mediums, we've got a large to do research for. And we've also got these sections here, which is our smaller aircraft. Now, keeping in mind, we've got all these spots here to get filled up. I know these here will get filled up as well, eventually. Now, the only thing is I found right now is that we're not making that much money, which is not a good situation to be in. So what we are going to do is we are actually going to take just 5 people. Okay. So we can actually cut down the construction cost of having the people there, but we're needing to at least keep 1 person with that one. So I like to keep 5, just in case. So keep in mind, we've got a parking spots, we've got a taxi drop off, we've got a bus drop off area, we've got all that there sorted. But we do actually need to now also think about actually moving this around to here as well, because when we actually place in our little section for the passengers, our terminals, we're needing to make sure that we've got that there sorted out. So we're actually just going to build this up here very quickly while we still got a 5 there. So just in case they get dropped off by a bus down here, then everybody else can actually come up here or come down on this section here, which is then perfectly fine as well. So we're going to start approaching up to finishing this episode off very shortly, but as a small reminder, we are actually going to be expanding this up here for our terminal for these here, and we're then going to do this little connection over to make sure that we've got these here leveled out as much as possible. So it's going to be quite a big terminal, but we do also need to put a wall in there just to make sure that everything's then fine, and make sure then we've got our research getting done. So on to the next episode, everybody. So thank you very much for coming to join us here on our channel. If you're not already done so yet again, please do subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you can then be notified when we upload a brand new video. Please don't forget as well, we do have our Minecraft channel as well, which is going to be quite amazing for everybody there. So yeah, again, thank you. Do stay safe, and until next time, as always, from myself, it's ciao ciao for now, everybody, and we'll see you all later. Bye.